The following is a YouTube-based audio production, brought to you by J.E. Realize. That's me. It's clear. The public has voted for more song contest content. Why not? I can make more. Right? Hello, this is J.E. Realized. The American Song Contest drives me up the wall sometimes. Don't get me wrong, I want the contest to get a second season because I see a future for this show. The problem is, no one working on the show is convincing me that it's doing well as is. But besides the fact the production has a severe lack of foresight or even a soluble plan, the songs are legit. There's just one problem. No one knows these songs exist. The first round of the show was cutthroat, and no matter how much I blast these songs from a car stereo, a Prius doesn't have the sound system of, say, a Volvo S90. But hey, you're here, so I have you all to myself. Here's 10 underappreciated ASC songs. These songs aren't necessarily my favorites. I mean, I didn't include Illinois. They're songs that got eliminated in the first round. Gonna take a long time to live that down. That I can appreciate, if not love or even like. But don't get me wrong, I like most of them. Plus, they're pretty varied genre-wise. You may not hear them on iHeartRadio anytime soon, but trust me, having a few extra feel-good songs in your life never hurt anyone. Unless you live in that parallel dimension in Power Rangers Mystic Force. Let's start this list with De la Finiquera by Las Marias. I'll admit my biases here. I grew up in a Mexican household in California, so I know Spanish and have experience with corrido music. A lot of people slept on this song because they didn't have that knowledge or experience, and that's disheartening. Eurovision welcomes any song with a story to tell with open arms, no matter the language. Sadly, the ASC doesn't. To those who don't know, this song is about twins, but unlike Jedward or the Tomakovi sisters, Las Marias sing about their struggles. They were born and raised in America, but since their parents were deported and the twins ended up in Mexico, they have to fight through two worlds for themselves and for their family. This is the kind of song that can make me cry at times. As someone with formerly undocumented parents, I get that feeling. But unlike with my dad, who came back to the US after we fought for his residency, their song was bittersweet, especially in the final chord. That hit me hard. And for those of you complaining that this song is political, newsflash, so is everything else in life. You don't hear anyone complaining about Jordan Smith's Christian iconography in his performance. They would complain about it if this was Eurovision. Watch Me Now by The Crystal Method. I'll tell you right now, I haven't heard these guys' other works, but in this case, that doesn't matter because this rocks. Electronically, if that makes sense. This is a sound I haven't found yet, but I already love it. This sort of EDM rock with that trippy effect in the performance got me loving it. Don't know why this song hasn't been brought up again. Wander by Elizabeth Vaughn Presley. Is it just me, or does this have similar themes to Netta's Toy or Destiny's Je Me Casse? Sure, in those songs, the girl straight up lays down the rules in front of the guy to justify being independent, but saying it that way also sounds like Wonder, minus the persons to whom she's addressing. This is addressed to the world at large as a mantra for herself and her own empowerment, and while I'm not female, I can appreciate that messaging. Plus the guitar. That's arguably the best part of the song. Yes, you're right, there is something wrong with me. It's Up by Cisco. I don't remember that other song he did. I'd listen to it, but I fear if I did, I may catch a virus on this computer. I put this on the list more because a lot of people like this beat. And I can't fault the beat. Sure, I did just some dials, and the start of the first and second stanzas could use some heavy lyric reworking, but this sounds like a football song. A soccer football song. I honestly feel like these songs could get a lot of mileage in the right markets. Sunsets and Sea Turtles by Sabu. This is so unique that it didn't have a chance of qualifying. But that's what makes it so nice to listen to. It's just a guy strumming a nice song. It's authentic. And it feels like this guy may have just been hanging around a parking lot or a sidewalk somewhere in my hometown playing for change. And it's a relaxer like hardly anything out there. I can then forgive it for seeming standard because the song is just itself. A lot of songs feel like they need to be bigger than they are or pander to a different target market. There's no identity crisis in this song, if that makes sense. Sabu, I salute you. Now You Do by Brittany Fance. This is definitely a Cajun sound. Okay, not strictly Cajun, but I mean it has some spice to it. Sure, it's the kind of don't mess with me spice we get in a lot of songs, but it does feel like it came from Louisiana. It's playfully dark, rough around the edges, and of course, a jam. And the atmosphere in the performance, while not perfect, adds to the song. It's like My Time to Shine, but better. Wait, how is that a compliment? It's like what My Time to Shine should have been. That's better. Steady Machine by Andrew Shepard. I think the singer referred to this song as folk rock or something to that effect. And honestly, folk music doesn't get a lot of interest on the charts, but this song stands out against the country songs with its sound. It's a lot more jubilant in tone despite the song talking about pulling through life by the bootstraps and being your own driver. And the radio cut of the song is somehow better, and I don't get how people slept on it. Maybe something's just going on in Idaho these days. Fire by Keone Star. Like Louisiana, this has its own spicy flavor to it that makes up the sass of the song. And honestly, if the delivery was cleaned up, this would be a banger of a song. It already is in the studio version. I don't have much else to say. The rock riff is also a nice touch, but what was that scene in the guitar solo? Working on a Miracle by Alexis Cunningham. In making this list, I had 9 easy choices, but the 10th would be difficult, as either I didn't like them much, or I could see why they wouldn't have broad appeal. Oregon's song, for example, goes for the avant-garde like Wyoming, but didn't get as lucky in the redemption round. Utah and Arkansas were nice, but they're country ballads. Snore. Then there's Alaska and Nebraska, but The Simpsons did it. And I can't fault USVI for that reggaeton. It really is underappreciated here in the contiguous 48. Unless you're Sean Paul or something. In the end, I chose West Virginia because of 2 things. 1, it's electric lounge music, and 2, it's more likely than most songs in the ASC to just play in the background simply for how easy it is to listen to. Get Out Alive by King Coyote. If you follow this channel lately, as at least one person does, you wouldn't think I wouldn't acknowledge King Coyote. This song has been slept on through and through, and the fact that the original cut was 5 minutes long didn't help matters. The ASC edit helped the smoothness of the song, but I still think the optimal runtime would have been 4 minutes. Anyway, while Sam Ryder in Eurovision was carried into space, man, his American counterpart, I am not kidding, look at him, was not received as warmly, and in retrospect I think I know why. The song itself had a powerful folk music flavor to it, as well as an evergreen accessibility that would make this song feel just as good if strummed out around the campfire without the amps. The problem is, the ASC performance didn't capture the power of the music on tape, and maybe fixing that would have pushed this at least into the semifinals. Those who only watched the final missed out on why the contest was created in the first place, the naturally galvanizing nature of music, and maybe a cash grab, but let's not dwell on that. And this song is certified lighter waving music. King Coyote, I know you're taking the loss well, and I respect that, but as someone from the other side of the country, you deserve much better. Keep doing what you do. And there's many more songs out there that didn't even touch the semifinal. If you haven't sought out the American Song Contest, seek out more info. This is nothing like Idol or The Voice. Do the feedback thing, like, comment, subscribe, or dislike because you're from Illinois and I didn't rep your song. Follow me on Twitter at JERealize. This has been JERealize. I'll see you next time, and there will be a next time. That concludes our YouTube-based audio production. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I wish you farewell.